god. Oh no, there they go. Hello everybody and happy November. I'm here to talk about the books that I want to read in November, but it is actually November 11th when I'm filming this, so I'm a bit late to making a November TBR, but I'm here anyway because I want to talk to you about the books that I want to read. I have been in the best reading mood. I have been reading so much. I am in the mood for everything. I just want to read everything, and I just want to talk to you guys about these books. So I would love to know what you want to read or are reading or are planning on continuing to read in November. And yeah, I would love to hear what you're reading. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking of reading. I might not get to all of these because we're nearly halfway through the month already. I'm in an ambitious mood, so here we are. So the first few I'm currently in the middle of, and the first one is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is our book club pick for the Game of Tomes book club for the month of November and December. I am so excited because this is my first reread of one of my favorite classics. I love Little Women. I actually just recently rewatched for like the millionth time I think it's 1995 adaptation with Winona Ryder, and oh my god, I love that adaptation so much. I do love the Greta Gerwig adaptation. There's like a nostalgia to the 1995 version. So now, ever since watching that, I'm so excited to keep reading this. I started it already, and I believe I'm on only like chapter 2 or 3. I just love the March sisters. I would love to know what you guys think of Little Women, so definitely let me know what you think about any of these books in the comments. But yes, this one I am reading on my Kindle, and very excited to keep reading that one because it's just the best. If you haven't read Little Women, please join us for the Game of Tomes book club. There is always a link in my description to join the club, and you could read with us, and it's just such a great time. The next few I have been talking about quite a lot, so I will go through them a bit quickly. And the first one is Love from Paddington, Letters from London to Peru by Michael Bond, and they're illustrated by Peggy Fortnum and R.W. Alley, and I have just been loving these letters. Leon and I have been reading them together, and we are adoring them. Paddington is such a lovable character, and these are just letters from Paddington in London to his Aunt Lucy in Peru, and he's telling her all about the things that he's getting up to, and the mischief and mayhem that's happening, and how he's loving and exploring London, so it's really wonderful, and I'm enjoying these so much, so is Leon. And the next one is The Complete Brambly Hedge by Jill Barklem. These are so beautiful. They're gorgeous illustrated stories about mice families living in this hedge, and they are so quaint and beautiful, and I've just been loving them so much. I have read the first 4 stories, and I believe I have 4 stories left. So I am enjoying reading these slowly. I do and don't want to finish them this month because they've just been so wonderful. The next one I started reading yesterday. Leon and I went to London, and I started this one on the train, and this is Orbital by Samantha Harvey. This is shortlisted for the Booker Prize this year, and so many people have been talking about it, and I decided to pick it up because I was really in the mood for it. It's quite short. It's about 6 astronauts as they orbit Earth, and it's their reflections on how they feel being kind of detached from Mother Earth and detached from their families, their friends. It's a truly beautiful meditation on what it means to have a home with your crew out in space and also have a home that you're constantly looming over. It's just a beautiful depiction of the relationships of the crew and how they feel in this very unique situation. One thing that I will say is it doesn't have much dialogue. It's a lot of like meditations and thoughts and kind of ponderings on these topics, which I'm really enjoying. Part of me kind of wishes that there was a bit more dialogue so I could kind of hear a bit more from the astronauts themselves. We do a bit, especially where I am right now. I've been hearing more from them. I'm on page 56, and it's quite a short book. I think it's only, like 136. I'm really enjoying it. Part of me kind of wants to hear a bit more from the astronauts themselves. But maybe I will once I keep reading. So I'm really enjoying this. I've been dog-earing some pages. It's beautifully written and just very meditative. and very thoughtful and thought-provoking, and it's interesting to put yourself in the shoes of these astronauts, which I feel like, I don't read a ton of sci-fi. This is much more like literary fiction, I feel like, rather than sci-fi, although we are set in space with these astronauts, and they do talk about different scientific terminology, and it's really, really interesting, so I'm enjoying it quite a lot. Alright, now I have a stack of books that I am thinking about picking up. Two of them are new that I haven't shown you guys yet, so I'm excited to tell you that I got these. The first one I have spoken about recently if you've watched my recent videos, and that is The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This is a book that I am so excited to read, and I love Yoko Ogawa's other book, The Housekeeper and the Professor. That has to do with memory loss. This also has to do with like a dystopian type memory loss, and I'm really excited to read it. I don't know if I'll get the chance to pick it up this month because we're already about halfway through the month, and I do want to read a bunch of other things. So we'll see if I get to that one, although I really, really want to. The next one, kind of the same situation. I really want to get to it, but I'm not exactly sure if I will. That is Lonely Castle in the Mirror by Mizuki Tsujimura, and this is translated by Philip Gabriel. This one is translated from the Japanese by Stephen Snyder. So this one, and then Lonely Castle in the Mirror. So Lonely Castle in the Mirror is a really enchanting, kind of like fantasy, magical realism-esque adult novel, and I don't want to say too much, but it's in a neighborhood in Tokyo. 7 young people wake up to find their bedroom mirrors shining. Placing their palms on the surface, they are pulled through a wondrous castle where they encounter not only each other but also their taskmaker, a bossy young girl in a mask named Wolf Queen. I've heard incredible things about this. I'm so excited to read it. I've been really just going with the flow with whatever I'm gravitating towards, so we'll see whatever mood strikes me, whichever books I'll pick up from these. The last one that you guys already know about is Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami, and it's translated by Allison Markin Powell. This is from the publisher Granta, but they did this newer edition, and I believe it's from a collection called Best of Granta, and I just love this cover so much. I really love the blurb on the back from The Independent. It's a quote from The Independent, and it says, "Kawakami transforms an affecting cross-generational romance into an exquisite poem of time and mutability. Often enchanting but ultimately heartbreaking, this is an unforgettable evocation of love and loneliness." And that just sounds amazing! I've really been in the mood for this one, so I feel like there's a pretty good chance I'll be reading this one in November. Then the last two that I want to tell you guys about are new to me that I just picked up last weekend, or this past weekend. The first one I got is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. This sounds fascinating, and I love the UK edition, so I'm so excited to have this in my hands. So it says, deep underground, 39 women live imprisoned in a cage. Watched over by guards, these women have no memory of how they got there, no notion of time, and only vague recollections of their lives before. And I don't want to say too much else, but I believe our main character is a young girl who has never encountered a man before, and it's about them, I believe, like, dealing with this and also potentially escaping, but I'm not 100% sure. I got these at Foyle's this past weekend, and when I brought both of these books up to the till, the girl behind the counter was like, "Oh my gosh, these are such great choices." She was like, 2 very different books, but like, I love this. So she was so friendly and made me extremely excited, even more excited to read this. And the next one she said that about was Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I have heard nothing but phenomenal things about this book, and how beautiful is this edition. I really don't love the US edition. I'll put a picture up. It just kind of looks like a corny romance novel almost, which is not, I mean, there's nothing wrong with like romance type covers, but for what the book is, it just doesn't match the narrative or the story at all, in my opinion. I'll read you the back because it sounds fantastic. Chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing. But it's the early 1960s, and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute take a very unscientific view of equality. Forced to resign, she reluctantly signs on as the host of a cooking show, Supper at 6. But her revolutionary approach to cooking, fueled by scientific and rational commentary, grabs the attention of a nation, and soon a legion of overlooked housewives find themselves daring to change the status quo, one module at a time. So it's definitely much more of like a science-based literary novel about women in STEM. And I just think that that sounds fantastic. And this cover, I think, is just so perfect for what you would expect from the story and the vibe of the story. So extremely excited to have this. The bookseller at Foyles that I was just talking about said that she bought 3 copies of this book, one for her mom, and then they have one specifically to lend out to people. So they have 3 copies of this book, and she was like, yeah, we specifically have one that we give to different people because we think everyone should read it. So I was very sold. I was already going to buy the book. I already bought the book, and that made me even more sold. So those are the books that I am leaning towards reading for the rest of November. So we will see which ones I actually pick up. They all kind of match. They're all either like pink, red, or white, which I think is nice. But yes, if there are any here that you would really love me to read and let you guys know what I think, let me know which ones you want me to read, and I will prioritize those. But very excited. And if I don't get to any of these, then they could be potential well-read book club picks. I already finished. You guys saw my last video was my reading vlog for Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. That is our book club pick for the Well-Read Book Club that is hosted on Fable. Again, a link is in the description if you want to join me. We read Howl's Moving Castle. I already finished it. It's a new favorite. Oh my gosh, loved it so much. But yeah, those are all the books that I will be reading, and I will of course let you guys know what I think when I... Oh god! Oh no! There they go. Well, as I was saying, I'll let you guys know what I think about them when I finish them. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Short and sweet, I think. I just wanted to let you guys know what books were on my radar for this month. I would love to know what books you are planning on reading, like I said in the beginning of the video, so definitely let me know. I would love to know how you guys are doing, so feel free to let me know in the comments. I just love checking in with you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here as always, and I just appreciate each and every one of you so much. I hope you are reading some fantastic books, are having a wonderful November, and I will see you very, very soon in another video. And as always, happy reading!